right again, Griffey Jr., and it's swung on and Nelson. Deep to right field. Get out the right, Brett Grandma. It is Brett salami time. I don't believe it.
Get out the right, Brett Grandma. It's Grant salami time. Seattle with a dramatic win last night. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports, sponsored by Nokia mobile phones. Mariners blast the Rangers 6-2, leading.
What kind of phone?
Nokia.
Really? Mm-hmm. Remember those,
Yeah.
My brother has a new phone that you can't hear him on. Look, he's so excited about this little teeny phone, and you can't hear him when he calls you.
Of course you can hear me on it, you moron.
Any little trinket, man, you can sell him. I don't care what kind of little trinket. You got a little radio, little phone, little anything, man. Clean out your garage and sell it to the I-Man.
Shut up, you bald-headed old fool. California Angels also won last night, 4-1 over the Oakland A's. Angels now just one game back of the wild card leading Yankees.
Nancy, Johnny Cochran yesterday, friend? Oh, he's great. I mean, he's as good as Jerry Spence.
Yeah, for what he does, huh?
Yeah. He did what he had to do, and he did it brilliantly. He's my man. Johnny's my new man.
Well, Johnny's a creep.
No, Johnny's not a creep.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Yeah, he is a creep.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get down. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Imus in the morning.
What's
The morning flashback. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus Christ on the dashboard of my car. I can go 100 miles an hour, as long as I got the almighty power stuck up there with my pair of fuzzy dials.
Hallelujah, girls.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Can I get an amen? Hi, friends. It's the Right Reverend Dr. Billy Saul Hargis, God's other son. Friends, I have a number of things I want to talk with you about today, dearly beloved. Praise God. First off, I want you to fall down on bended knee with me for just a moment to say a silent prayer for a pair of unfortunates who have just permanently retired the dead failure, bankrupt, flash, and a pan fiasco trophy. Two geniuses who have emerged from the wreckage of Bill Clinton's presidency to now become the architects of the destruction of the Democratic Party, praise God. Yes, we are holding up before you today, Heavenly Father, Paul Begala and James Carville. And pity poor Mary Madeline while you're at it. What do you think she's going through now? When she rolls over every morning and gets a load of serpent head there next to her, mouth flopped open and drooling on the pillow, fully aware that with their resume, neither he nor Begala could get a job consulting the crew on a recycling truck. So in addition to a serpent head, he is also now a parasite, praise Jesus. No, Begala and Carville could not be more over if they'd gotten caught paying Latino border jumpers to vote yes on Proposition 187. Pray, too, for our president friends, whose depth of desperation is made crystal clear by the individual he's now turned to for consulting help. Yes, among the president's new gurus, Tony Robbins, the Frankenstein look-alike one-time janitor who rose to prominence sitting on a TV infomercial set with Fran Tarkenton telling people like Bruce Jenner that they could make millions if they just dumped $750 on his infantile psychobabble self-help video set. And now, friends, you combine all of that with the fact that the newt of all evil, Speaker Gingrich, could one day wind up becoming president, and if it ain't enough to make your aorta jump about 4 rungs up your esophagus, it ought to be. If they'd made Dr. Hargis a congressional chaplain, believe me, each day I'd be opening the session with a prayer that nothing would happen to Clinton or Al Gore, for God's sake. Instead, of course, they're paying better than $300,000 a year to a couple of close-cover before striking ecclesiastic padre confessor deacon dunkers to get up there and mutter 30 seconds worth of new age dribble that would make L. Ron Hubbard's eyes glaze over, when they could have had me, turning them on to the righteous path and sharing with them some of the philosophy contained in my new book, God's Other Son. Still on the bestseller list, praise Jesus, and available at your local purveyor of publications, might I add, verily, verily. And finally, friend, as I leave you, could be closed by saying a little remembrance for Kathleen Gingrich, the new speaker's heavy-hipped, loose-lipped old lady. Heavenly Father, give her a helping hand, won't you? Because if by calling Miss Clinton bitch, he's now going through all this trauma, what do you suppose Newt is calling his poor old mama? Say hallelujah, can I get an amen now?
I'm not dead.
10, but right now at 12:58 and 55 seconds on your fan New York City. From me to you, again, thanks. And also we have to thank and should thank Jeff Hughes and Stevie Cohen on the other side of the glass. Stick around for your Mad Dog right here on your fan, New York.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan, WFAN.
Man, you know what team I really hate? Well, Knicks.
Why?
I just hate them. They just
Give me
suck.
one good reason.
No, they're a bunch of
Bunch of
jerks.
dirty playing
That's
thugs.
right.
That's what
idiots.
Get out.
Carjackers in shorts. That's what they are. Carjackers in shorts. Absolutely.
If your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
All right, so Fred, you're going with the Raiders?
Yeah.
And Breen, who are you going with?
Indianapolis calls the team they're playing.
I discovered one thing the other day.
What's that, Fred?
Well, every time I had sex, my eyes would water and get red.
Yeah.
So I figured out what caused it.
What is it?
Mace.
In the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock. I'm Joe Tollison. Ken's NFL wildcard games.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Nice to have you back with us here on the Fan. Talking about the world of sports on this Wednesday, December 27th, 1995. Good to have you aboard. 718-937-6666. The Mike and the Mad Dog radio program. Mike, of course, has the day off. Back with you tomorrow. While yours truly, Christopher Russo, takes the afternoon off. But with you today for a 5-hour extravaganza. Jeff Hughes, the...
Yeah, right. So, did I mention it's my wife's birthday? I just talked to her. Yeah, you did. I love her. She's this.
Imus in the morning.
Interesting chat that you had with your members of your staff regarding the winner of the contest.
Well, give me somebody other than some dothead who's a retard.
Who else is going to go to see this clown at Carnegie Hall?
Listen,
Some dothead who's a retard.
Yeah, let me...
I hope you're listening, Anna Quinlan.
Want to recall the nature of your conversation with Bernard and Lou in more detail, Iron Man?
Give me somebody on the phone who can talk.
I apologize.
Unbelievable.
I did not mean... I'm sorry I said that. But I just... God almighty.
So you
We had 90 seconds.
I had Sonny Von Bulow on the phone.
So you
What do you expect?
Well, yeah.
We're not giving away Aerosmith tickets, sir.
You bald-headed stooge.
It's Sonny Corleone.
had a certain affinity, did you, with Dick Snyder?
So now they're comparing my behavior to the behavior that was suggested by former employees of Dick Snyder in yesterday's Wall Street Journal. My friend Dick Snyder, I might point out.
You disciple of
course,
Steve
man, oh man, really? God.
Well,
Are you people in the same convent or whatever the heck that is, or witches go?
COVID. Yeah.
Man.
What's the matter?
Boy, you know, let's drink the blood.
Well,
You shake the bones this time, Dick. Draw the circle in the ground. What's the matter with you?
no. Well, I gave Bernard $1,000 yesterday for booking a guest.
Well, it was just a pure
good
accident because you didn't think he could do it, and everybody else knew he could. Just a dope.
No,
No, I knew he could do it. He books everybody. Screaming and hollering, and I wasn't screaming and hollering. What did I say? I just said, give me somebody who's not in a coma.
Just like that.
That's not exactly the way you put it. Well, what did I say?
You scream, give me somebody that's not in an effing coma!
Well, I mean, you gave me something.
That's a little different than just saying, well, give me somebody that's not in a coma.
Get a winner, quick! What are you doing in there?
Yeah, but I mean, I want to talk to somebody who's, geez, not on lithium.
First of all, if they have the right answer, what am I going to say? Yo, no, you sound like you're in a coma. I got to get somebody else.
That's true, yeah.
Are you a dothead? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't win.
What the hell does he want to see Delbert for?
What does anyone want to see Delbert for? Jeez, you got to be on lithium. Maybe he wants to scalp the tickets for like $2 outside.
Thanks, but no thanks, baby. I've already got more trouble than I need. Thanks, but no thanks, baby. I've already got more trouble than I need. I don't want no lonely, lustful woman's irate husband after me. Imus in the morning.
And now, Imus in Washington senior military advisor, the late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease. I've summoned you people to our briefing today to help me identify the enemy. In the past, making such identification was routine and comparatively straightforward. They were communists. Today, with the disintegration of the old Soviet Union, identification is more difficult. The enemy can occur in many guises and can be particularly insidious in his deception. Private, hit those lights, hit the projector, then hit yourself. Ow! Thank you. Slide 1. This, people, is a communist Chinese, member of the last great bastion of the commie ideology. Slide 2. This is the United States Secretary of Defense, William Perry. Split the screen and let's see them side by side. Good. Now then, people, which here is our enemy? This dissembler of American democratic principles or the Chinese communist? If you selected the first option, you were correct. It's this idiot, William Perry, the quintessential Clinton administration defender of the Republic. The Chinese communist people eat their pets, sweep their streets with bundles of bamboo, and need Coke bottle bottoms to read the 2400 line on a standard vision chart. They couldn't threaten Alsace-Lorraine. That is, until William Perry apparently defected. Not satisfied with the fact that his boss did the bivouac limbo when the Vietnam War loomed, Perry decided to go him one better, and in a wild paroxysm of candor, publicly detailed areas in which the United States military suffered shortcomings.
Oh, good.
And for whom? These guys, the Communist Chinese. The Defense Secretary of the United States in Beijing, China, appearing at China's National Defense University, no less, and telling the entire fortune cookie corps that the U.S. has problems in strategic sea lift capability, strategic airlift capability, shortages of precision-guided weapons, and just for good measure, would have difficulty fighting 2 regional wars if they occurred simultaneously. Anything else, Willie? Like maybe the burglar alarm code at Sam Nunn's office? General Shalikashvili's underwear size? And I believe you left out the enabling code for the United States Strategic Air Command, didn't you? Jesus, what the hell ever happened to Dick Cheney, or Cap Weinberger, or even that McNamara moron? How did we wind up with some pansy who probably put Barbie doll tights on his G.I. Joe? I'm afraid we have met the enemy, people, and he is us. Memorandum, then, to Defense Secretary Perry William from Patton Smith George, Jr. In case it has escaped your attention, that phone on your desk is the hotline, not Dear Abby. Please go back to the lifestyles of the rich and subsidized and leave the defense of the Republic to someone who understands that John Wayne means more than the first and middle names of some loser who got his cut off. That's all.
All right, here now from CBS Sports, one of our favorites, an attractive young man. Uh-huh. Yeah. Pat O'Brien. Good morning, Mr. O'Brien.
You know, I'm comfortable enough with my manhood to hear you say that again.
How's Linda and Sean?
Linda and Sean are fine, thank you. In fact, Sean and I were riding to school one day not long ago and heard you on KOGO out in San Diego. We turned it on. I said, hey, I'm on finally in Southern California. We turned it on. And I think you called me a moron. You ripped my hair.
Well, I don't know what
I said, Daddy, who's that? I said, it's a friend of mine.
Your radio sounds fun in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning. Good morning, Vic.
Hi, Imus.
Okay, tell me what Pat O'Brien looks like.
He's tall, wears glasses, well-dressed, double-breasted a lot.
How's his hair?
Thin on top.
You win the tickets.
All right, I'm in. Hey, Beck, don't come 1 foot near me.
Islands in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Oh, are they good? We're really pretty up about that.
Are they some sort of entertainers? Who are they?
There are two fellows who do a sports talk show.
A splendid sports talk show.
And they're both lovely fellows.
They're good.
And Mike Francesa is a very bright fellow.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never heard anyone butcher the English language to the extent that these two.
And they're not even lawyers?
Both of them are college graduates, and they cannot put together a coherent sentence.
Yeah. And isn't it appalling?
They have the syntax of one of Woody Allen's girlfriends. I mean, it's just...
You know, of course, Gore Vidal.
No, I don't.
You know
I know who he is.
You're not going to do anything.
Come on in, bitch.
Come on in, bitch.
Bust the move, bitch.
Who are you talking to?
You.
All right, here now in the Imus in the Morning program, my fat friend, Rush Limbaugh. Good morning, Rush.
Friends, it is I, ubiquitous brown-shirted bulwark of braggadocio, the rock-ribbed rear admiral of right-wing rhodomantade, Rush Limbaugh, reminding you to join me, Roger Ailes, and Pat Robertson on the Mall in Washington, D.C. this Saturday for the Million Mound March. Now, that's an assemblage where 100,000 could easily be mistaken for 2 million. Diddle-it, 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 diddle-it. It's the Bill Clinton World Tour. Although the world here, much as Muhammad, is being forced to come to the mountain. Chinese President Xi Jinping met recently with Bubba, a process the White House says that they believe will lead to a series of dialogues, which will bring about serious discussion, in turn initiating an exchange of ideas that could very well spawn a discourse, which hopefully in the end will result in a colloquium. And who says the liberals can't get anything done? You know, his latest attempts to prove himself a relevant foreign affairs statesman, and I use the term affairs not in the manner usually associated with Bubba, but when taken together and viewed at a distance, they really do resemble a blind date, don't they? Well, first, drinks with Yeltsin, then a dinner of takeout Chinese. The only question that remains, which country is going to end up being screwed at the end of the evening? How about a little mood music for our roll in the hay? I see more white water rising. I see more trouble on the way. Mad Dog Al D'Amato, the people's pit bull, calling for a blanket subpoena to obtain all Whitewater-related documents. White House officials have stated that all consanguineous documents have been turned over, except, of course, for the really incriminating ones that they didn't have the time to black out or destroy before they initially had to surrender them. And now, in my never-ending mission to defecate upon the over-generous in-flight service cart called liberalism, I, the original cyber-conservative, am providing a reactionary redneck rest stop on the information superhighway, a drive-through window on the World Wide Web. Set your browser for http:, that's where the defecating comes in, //rightcon.com, the land of the free, homepage of the brave. Download unflattering photos of the First Family and Presidential Cabinet. Tax tips using Nation of Islam algorithms. Play real-time online network games with other arch conservatives coast to coast, like Democrat Doom, where you attempt to escape the chambers of the Capitol building by blowing away the remaining minority in the Congress. And the feminist fantasy Mist, where you wander around a surrealistic island trying to figure out just what the hell these women want from us. More after this. Liberals are just like commies. You can't tell them apart. Think they're so progressive when they're all just big bleeding hearts. Tax the hard workers to give money to parasites that they never have to repay. Tell illegal aliens it's quite all right to be on welfare from cradle to grave. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Don't let them start programs for social reform. Be narrow-minded to those who don't conform. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause economy crunches with all their free lunches. They're giving the country away. Liberals like
government handouts and hidden agendas.
Yeah.
Like dropping trow in hotel rooms with girls of the night. They all feel guilty because they are so privileged and want to give it all up to the hopelessly needy. So if you don't want your young kids being left out, see that they stay to the right. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. They love homos and Negroes and Hebrews and such. They rob from the rich, think that we have too much. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause economy crunches with all their free lunches. They're giving the country away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Don't let them start programs for social reform. Be narrow-minded to those who don't conform. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause Bubba and Hillary are both prime examples, and they're giving our country away.
Senator Farrakhan.
Senator Farrakhan, well, who knows?
Charles was wondering earlier if he would have those, the Fruit of Islam guards standing around his little desk there. It'd be an interesting sight on the floor of the United States Senate. And
Having that Navy bean soup with Senator Lieberman.
yeah, we're going to have a filibuster, Senator Lieberman.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
There's a lecture series featuring Anna Quinlan, Mary Matlin, Maureen Dowd, and fittingly, Dave Barry.
How do I sign up for that one? Oh, man. What's it?
Girls are
Comedy on the radio? Are they going to be scalping tickets outside?
Yo, check it out, man. I got tickets here, man.
What is that, the White Supremes?
Check it out. Annie Quillen in the house. Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66. WFAN. Morning Flashback.
Imus in the morning here on Kogo in San Diego, California. Catching some rays with my fat friend Scott Muni. Scotzo.
I was flipping through Variety the other day and stopped when I saw the words Phil Donahue followed by the word execution. And I got all excited. That is until I read it wasn't his execution that he's trying to televise. Damn, I hate it when that happens. Turns out it's this guy in North Carolina, David Lawson, who actually has his lawyer going to the Supreme Court to overturn earlier decisions banning the television event. He wants to be on Donahue so bad, he's even offered to sit in the gas chamber without the hood over his head. Nothing like a cooperative convicted murderer to help your programming schedule during sweeps, huh?
Well,
Shannon Doherty could have learned a thing or two about being a team player from this guy. He claims he's innocent and wants it to be televised so he can make a statement about wrongful prosecution. And the altruistic Donahue wants it to be televised so he can get those big capital punishment ratings. That'd pretty much send the Nielsen's through the roof, don't you think?
Well,
I mean, that is, if we have to settle for something else besides a public hanging of Phil. Which, if you ask me, is settling for the next best thing, which would be Marlowe in the electric chair with Phil pulling the switch. Which itself is a poor substitute for what America really wants. But I'm starting to get the feeling that the I-Man is immortal. Then I read where Fox is now developing a talk show for Carney Wilson, the fat chick from Wilson Phillips.
oh, that's nice.
Which is either a brilliant idea or a ponderous one, depending on whether or not you think being an overweight single woman with a burned-out ex-druggy dad who sits in a sandbox all day will help you interview other overweight single women with burned-out ex-druggy dads who sit in sandboxes all day. I mean, she's been through so much weird stuff, she could be her own guest on every show. There's just no rhyme or reason to what people will watch on the tube. You can pretty much predict that one of the only good things that might come out of a war with North Korea is that the MASH reruns will pull a 16 share. You know, I was one of the first to think ABC had that flesh-eating disease and that the flesh it was eating was brain tissue when they paid $15 million for the rights to televise World Cup soccer. But then I read where worldwide 31 billion people will watch this thing.
What?
That's a B, by the way. Billion. Man, that's a lot of wretched refuse staying inside checking out the kickball instead of standing outside selling crack and stealing cars.
Fine.
Who knew television can turn out to be a crime deterrent? Makes you wonder what might have happened had they not canceled L.A. Law. That guy in North Carolina would be sitting in his living room watching Arnie put the moves on the new paralegal instead of sitting in the gas chamber waiting for the pellet to drop.
On July the 2nd, 1953, I was serving time for armed robbery. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping in my cell. I heard a whistle blow, then I heard somebody yell.
Imus in the morning.
The Eighth-gers, they still have a half-game lead in the wild card spot over the fading California Angels. But Wade Boggs says even though they've played well recently, they know it can turn around quickly.
We could run up against 4 pitchers the next 4 days or something like that that'd stick it right up our rear end.
And they'll hope to avoid that.
Well, we could use a different analogy there, I think, Wade.
Mr. Role Model.
Man, what a geek.
Really?
Loser.
Idiot. Big series, of course.
Cheating your wife.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Wonder who's going to pitch Tuesday night at Fenway. Any way to find that out?
Yes, we can call up and find out.
Oh, okay.
Mike should know. Mike's the big sports guy.
It'd be really... wouldn't it be great to see Roger Clemens?
No, Jim Lonborg is starting.
Oil Can Boyd is pitching.
Louis Tion.
Larry Bird will be up in the mound.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. We'll be there.
Well, Barney Frank will be pitching, and you'll be catching.
Me, Chuck, Bernie, Breen, and Mike Barnacle will all be at the Red Sox game Tuesday night when they take on... We don't even know who they're playing, do we?
No, we don't.
It doesn't make any difference.
No, it doesn't.
Well, see if you can find out, and see if you can find out who's pitching.
We'll find out.
Stan
I'll find
Smith.
out within the next month.
Stan Smith from Tom Hoyt, the board up in Claremont. Just go with that.
Stan Smith?
The scintillating Stan Smith.
What a game for you guys.
Stan Smith?
Stan Smith?
You sure you don't want to go see Showgirls?
Stan Smith. Ugh. Well, what's the Rocket doing?
Where we should go is go out to Los Angeles and watch the Dodgers and the Rockies. Next 3 days, they'll be playing. Right now, Colorado leads.
Yasser Arafat is going to be a father.
Charming
Who's the
fellow.
lucky goat?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know, there's some people who you can imagine having sex, and it doesn't seem like a horribly... It doesn't conjure up an unattractive image.
For example,
Strom Thurmond.
he's still in good shape.
It wouldn't be an offensive image.
It'd be like looking in the mirror for you.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAM.
In the sleepy little town of Santa Sueño, at a dirty, noisy cantina, La Fonda del Búfalo Turquesa, a badass hombre enters. Muy macho, carrying a guitar case. He has traveled far to find the lone, shadowy figure sitting at one of the tables against the wall, silently eating a salchicha. Spotting the one he seeks, he smiles, then approaches the mysterious stranger, the one with the impressive bulge in his pants.
Oye, senor, buy you a mineral water.
No, gracias.
Another hot dog day.
I said, no, leave me alone. My back hurts.
You know, from where I am standing, you look familiar.
Well, you know, they say all us Mexicans look alike, so the conversation's over. Fatso, get out.
Why, if I did not know any better, I say you are the man born with the sign of the tree.
Right.
3 testicles. The one they call tres huevos. Tres huevos. But I can see that you are not a manly man. Why, you are nothing but an old hot dog eating fool. A maricón.
Oh, really? Well, take a look at this.
Madre de Dios. That's even more impressive than I had ever imagined. No wonder your back hurts. Tres huevos. Out of the night comes a frightening sight. It's the man they call Tres Huevos. Tres huevos. He's much better than you, for you only have 2. The manly man they call Tres Huevos. Tres huevos.
more than the average amount. Tres huevos, two strikes and they have a full count. Tres huevos.
The return of Tres Huevos, coming soon to the Imus in the Morning program.
To save my soul, I can't get a date. My baby's got a coming through the TV, shooting up the land. My baby loves the Western movies. My baby loves the Western movies. Imus in the morning.
The people at Dodge don't
Bad to the bone. Imus in the morning.
A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other colors, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. That cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on. And thrown in jail, we can go toe to toe in the middle of a sale. With me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product. Thinking every nigga is selling narcotics.
Imus in the morning.
Tonight, right, Pat?
Right, you know, we got a kind of a problem with the Imus guests. I don't know if you know it's
Well, about 30 seconds here.
Well, I know how to take account. I mean, I've been in television 25 years. I
Let's
can
see.
take account. Now,
Let's- okay,
now we
let's
have 22 seconds.
Yeah.
I know exactly how much time we have.
Fine.
20. Now it's 19.
Well, John, do you have anything to say here?
Well, I mean, I don't want to go for 30 seconds. Now it's 15, and what am I going to do?
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Imus in the morning.
These forwards. A shocking trade in the NBA. Good morning. Mike Breen with Sports, wishing all our fans here happy holidays, and thanks for coming. We love you very much.
Stop sucking up to these people.
Well, you haven't been nice to mine, might as well be.
I'm not going to be nice to them because they're scum, and most of them are here to win the Jeep, and that's basically it.
New Jersey Nets pulled the trigger on a blockbuster deal, trading Derek Coleman and 2 other players to the Philadelphia 76ers for Sean Bradley and 2 other players. Nets not only lose their former leading scorer and rebounder, but more importantly, they lose their leader, a hard-working good guy who always gave it his all. Coleman was asked for a reaction to the trade.
Whoop-de-damn do.
Surprising reaction from Derek Coleman.
Not a great attitude, no.
NBA scores, Sacramento beat Indiana. Portland lost to Milwaukee. Washington welcomed back Chris Webber from his shoulder injury, his first game of the season, and they promptly lost at home to Cleveland. But Webber's teammates, Juwan, Pac-Man, and Rashid, all happy that he's back. College basketball problems for Villanova. 2 of their star players suspended for tomorrow's game against St. John's, Jason Lawson and Chuck Cornegie. One game.
How you doing?
The former tennis star tells the current issue of The Advocate she thinks it would be nice to be with a woman who's more famous than she is. The left-handed lesbian, who's currently unattached.
Why is that necessary to identify her by her sexual proclivity?
As I've said before, she's left-handed, correct?
Yes.
She is a lesbian,
No,
correct?
but you don't identify heterosexual athletes by their sexual preferences, do you?
Sometimes I have done that, yes.
Well, it sounds homophobic to me, frankly.
What would you like me to say?
Nothing. Just say Martina Navratilova.
All right, Martina said it would be nice to have a change to be able to stand back and watch her mate sign the autographs instead of her. And we wish her all the luck in finding this person, finding someone that she can lick both on and off the court.
Oh! Why? What are you nuts? No.
You don't think that's important to her?
I don't think people in Cookeville, Tennessee, or San Diego, California, want to hear that.
I think these are the facts in the sports world that I must report.
Get out.
NFL from last night, Giants beat the Arizona Cardinals 10-6, and that's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
And now the end is near. It might be time to just retire. My friends, they all steer clear. They're all afraid I might expire. But now my pants are full, and so I say, not in a shy way, I'll
depressed, 'cause he's a homo. My songs, I know them well, the words by heart. Something about doing my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew. Without my teeth, I could not chew. But through it all, though aging sucks, I still command the big time bucks. I got a call, my tailor Saul, he don't work Friday. I did all I could do. I did it all. It was amusing. Yeah. But now when I wake up, I find it all so confusing. Sometimes I'll take a drive, then take a nap right on the highway. So you, there in your car, get out of my way. But what is a man supposed to do when he is done before he's through? And though he has a lot of spunk, that Harry Connick is just a punk. His records show he really blows. Can't do it my way.
Hey, Frank. Frankie, kid, what's the matter here? You got another shoulder, though, Frank. Not on. Get the car.
Hello, darling.
Imus in the morning.
Just kick those left wingers out the door. Yeah. I'm mad as hell and I won't take it no more. Just look at the opinion polls. We love that old guy, Robert Dole. I've had it up to here with liberals. We need a president with principles. Not a gigolo with no self-control. I like that old guy, Robert Dole. I like that old guy, Robert Dole. That Bubba Clinton's about to lose control. So I'm here saying on your radio, vote for that old guy, Robert Dole. Here's a little dance I call the New Hampshire Shuffle. Mark those ballots now. Senator, can I borrow your pen? Call him a relic, say he's over the hill. He's still much better than that imbecile Phil. No sex and violence at his movie show. Vote for that old guy, Robert Dole. You'll never see him with a bimbo. No knees a-knocking with a $5 hole. Ain't got a prostate, but he sure got soul. We love that old guy, Robert Dole. Everybody now, we like that old guy, Robert Dole. That Bubba Clinton's about to lose control. So I'm here saying on your radio, vote for that old guy, Robert Dole. Break it down one time for me, people. Robert Dole. That Bubba Clinton's about to lose control. 'Cause I'm here saying on your radio, we love that old guy, Robert Dole. Bring me home now, baby, bring me home. Robert Dole.
Rush Limbaugh and Rob Bartlett in the bar left here on the Imus in the morning program.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sports.
Kick is up, end over end, on its way. And it is good.
Giants kick Buddy Ryan and the Cardinals. Good morning. Mike Breen with Sports, inviting all those fans here at the museum to stop by the radio station anytime, even just to say hello. From Arizona last night, Giants.
Can we get my mic on? You know, first of all, I'm sorry I swore on the radio, but I'm so annoyed that it's probably not the... Is it the museum? Whose fault is it that this equipment is the single worst setup ever?
Details of the Giant victory.
The defense played outstanding. Covering the Giants, I'm Billy Taylor.
Thanks, Billy. We'll have more in-depth reporting coming up later. Big story in the NBA, a trade. The Nets send Derek Coleman. There's joy now with the Bullets.
Uh-oh.
There's joy to the city of Washington.
Uh-oh.
There's joy to the entire NBA.
No.
There's joy to the world.
Fine.
And that reminds me of a song.
No, Mike, that's fine. No.
This is the worst sportscast I ever heard.
Joy to the world, his lung collapsed. Let's hope it does again. He's mean and wild. He married a child. And all his staff hates him. And all his staff hates him. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy.
Mike Breen.
Baldo announced just recently he's separating from his wife, and the British media have hounded him since, so he's getting the bodyguard. Apparently breaking up with his wife was hard for him to do. And that reminds me of a song.
No, don't sing, Mike.
Do-do-do-down, do-be-do down, down. Breaking up is hard to do.
No.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
First of all, I don't know what idiotic question. Who asked that question?
Well, it's obvious. It was a woman.
I know that.
Say no more.
I just don't think we need that from either one of you. And obviously, both of your wives are not up listening yet, are they?
No.
My wife's up, but the vacuum cleaner's drowning out the sound of the radio. And it had better be.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Instead of getting laid, I'm just getting screwed. Hey, I'm man. King of rock and roll here, son.
Oh, hi, Elvis.
That's there was a little thing I've been working on called Bill Clinton's Lament, or the Big Trouble Double Bubba Blues. Hey, you've been looking close at your boy in the White House?
Well, yeah.
Got that involuntary tick going for him in his left eye.
Yeah.
Biting his lip till the damn thing looks like some kind of meat substitute. Keeps that right hand jammed in his pocket all the time. What do you think he's doing down there? Checking his change? I'll tell you what he's doing, son. He's fiddling with his dying bird. You know why?
No.
Because here he is in the ultimate power seat.
Right.
He's young, good-looking. Women at those town meetings all but throwing their damn brassieres at him. And the poor slob can't do one thing about it. I mean, if Clinton history teaches us anything, then you know that with all the opportunities that stooge has, he's got to be ready to explode. I wrote a little tune about it. Goes like this. Well, Bubba got a bone, he's got to postpone.
Yeah.
Hillary's got a lock on his erogenous zone. Yeah, Hillary. And the press are on his case. Can't get laid if the bastards don't give you no space. Yeah, if I'm in heaven, he's in hell, man. Got himself in a position to become the white Will Chamberlain. Just put a damn drive-through window in the Lincoln bedroom there.
Right.
And yet every time he turns around, either hideous Hillary is staring him down, or somebody like that ogre with a notebook, Eleanor Clift, is putting a searchlight on his fly. He is sure as hell going to start a war somewhere, man, just so he can blow some pressure off his prostate gland, you know? Because you know that healthcare hoe of an old lady of his ain't giving it up.
No.
Do you think she'd ever crawl in the sack with that doofus?
No.
Believe me, Chelsea either had to be the result of one of those turkey-baster pregnancies, or we done had the world's second virgin birth, Hoss. By the way, that's another thing.
Oh.
I hate to blow David Koresh's deal for him, but despite what he's saying down there, Jesus is still up here.
Right.
And he ain't all that happy with that wacko in Waco, I'll tell you. Anyway, I got to find a little tune here dedicated to your fidgeting leader, okay? Well, advice for Bubba and maybe Al Gore. When your two lacks up, just slam it in the door. Yeah, don't you pull no matinee.
No.
As much as you wish, you can't be JFK.
You ain't nothing but a hound. Been snooping around my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping around my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna fix you no more. Imus in the morning.
From Kentucky, Rick Pitino lost to UMass.
Yes, sir.
And it can't be a bad day. Absolutely. I mean, it's just uphill from then on.
I usually check the obituaries first. Wasn't a good day today.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know what's going on in the minds of the players after a tough game?
Nothing's going on in their minds.
No. Same thing is going on in their
They're
minds.
making $8 million a year. They're thinking about
chilling out with their bitch.
Yeah,
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, my point is,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Breen continues.
I said no.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The following is a paid political announcement by the Concerned Kennedys Committee of Hyannisport. Now, the senior senator from the state of Massachusetts, the Honorable Edward M. Kennedy.
Thank you. I come before you today, my fellow Bay Staters and my fellow Americans, with heavy heart. While I haven't been asked, I am obligated as a guardian of the public trust to announce that I am resigning the high office to which you have elected me. I am no longer able to serve you as your senior United States Senator. Unselfishly, at great personal sacrifice, I am making myself available to my president and my country as an administration nominee in waiting. Basically because it is now painfully clear that Bill Clinton is genetically incapable of nominating somebody who doesn't have some kitchen-scrubbing, leaf-breaking fig picker from Pakistan chained up in his basement somewhere. Jesus. I'm sorry. Perhaps if I might have a small taste. I said perhaps a taste over here? Yes. Just use the coffee mug. Anyway, for we Kennedys, the matter of immigrant domestic help has never been an issue. We are rich beyond anything you might imagine in your narrow, depressing, insignificant lives, and are able to hire domestics from within our own borders. Anything less would have contravened both the regulations of the Immigration and Naturalization Service and the higher moral law that has always been my guide. You shall find no Nannygate episode on this senator's record. All I've ever done could be categorized as human slips. Drank a little too much, became ensnared in an awkward social situation now and again, and drowned a woman. And that, after all, was simply a mishap. Despite what press sensationalism might have had you believe, it was not as though I slugged her, poured concrete in her high-heel sneakers, stuffed her in an OJ jumbo Ziploc freezer bag, and bounced her off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Not at all. And so, let the word go forth from this time and place that, as usual, a Kennedy stands ready to serve when and if called. While the Michael Kahns, Zoe Baird, Kimber Wood, and Lonnie Guinier nominations were all fatally flawed, Ted Kennedy carries no such encumbrances. Therefore, I shall both seek and accept my president's nomination as director of the Central Intelligence Agency, before we find out that this Deutsch dork is a member of NAMBLA or something, or as United States Surgeon General, before catheads start turning up in Henry Foster's swimming pool, or whatever. Oh, one wonders why Henry Foster wasn't around when, well, what's the point? He wasn't.
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you about my town. I'm going to tell you a big fat story, baby. It's all about my town. Yeah, down by the river. Down by the banks of the river Charles. That's what's happening, baby. That's where you'll find Imus in the morning.
All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. It's just saying.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule, an indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled the station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume Monday morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minko.
2020 Sports on WFAN, the home of this weekend's NFL wildcard games.
Sports Radio 66.
weekend. Good to have you with us. Talking about the world of sports. There's a lot cooking on this Saturday morning until 12:15. Christopher Russo's along the way. 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number as we chat with you. Joan Shin, Stevie Cohen on the other side of the glass as we discuss really a whole plethora of items. But I know what you're saying. Buffalo's done a good job at home, but they've been considered 10-6. They're very good in the playoffs in that stadium. Miami, not so good in cold weather. A lot of reasons to love the Bills today, no doubt about it. 10 o'clock, we will come back with Stan Walters, the Eagles radio analyst. A couple thoughts about Philly before back to your calls on the Fan. Don't go away.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
If you love... Tollison with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
All right, back on the Fan Hour 2. Good start to a Saturday extravaganza. Came on early today. Give you a good feel about the playoffs. Begin at 12:15 or 12:30, 12:15 and a pre. Right here on the Fan. You got football all weekend long. Nice to have you with us. You heard from Tim Rooney of the Giants. You know, he liked the Bills, he liked Detroit, and he liked the two home teams tomorrow, Green Bay and San Diego. And I think if he had a pin on me, he would have taken San Francisco and probably Pittsburgh for the Super Bowl. Stan Waters, of course, is the radio analyst for the...
Now, here now, Media Watch, checking the national press organ for abnormality.
Mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
Big John. Big John.
Big bad
Imus in the morning.
20 years.
Imagine there's no Clinton. It's easy if you try. No more Hillary Rodham. She choked on humble pie. Imagine Bill and Hillary being led away in chains. Imagine an impeachment. It isn't hard to do. No more feminazis in the cabinet. Or homosexual Jews.
That'll be fine, Russ.
Imagine Janet Reno bursting into flames. You may say, make it at home, 'cause I'm not the only one. Someday we'll get rid of all the liberals, and then we shall overcome. Imagine no more health care. I wonder if you can. No more blacks on welfare. Whitewater broke the dam. Imagine all the Negroes looking for a job. You may say, Rush, you're a genius. Well, you're not the only one. Someday we'll get rid of all the liberals, and then we shall overcome.
Imus in the morning.
Atlanta wins in Cincinnati. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports, sponsored by Tower Air.
My friends, it is I, the Tony Titan of Truth, reminding you that the views and opinions expressed by this hidebound round mound of sound are irrefutably flawless. This just in, Bubba calls Dee Dee regarding her DUI. Ms. Myers says the president made her laugh. To which I can only add, madam, he does the same for me every day. Read my conservative colleague's newest tome over the weekend, To Renewt America, where basically he restates everything I've been saying here for the last 5 years. But it's a good message and bears repeating. Life sucks, and it's the liberals' fault. Case in point, the Clinton presidency. The Democrats' version of a Benetton ad. A modern Shakespearean tragedy. The fall of Saigon now is the summer of our discontent, as Bubba normalizes relations with Vietnam. That sound you hear is all 2,202 unaccounted for American voices screaming in unison, "Are you out of your mind?" 20 years after we left desperate Vietnamese hanging off the rope ladders on the last helicopters out, Bubba decides to let Saigons be bygones. What bothers me is how easy it was for him to do. With the help of that Senator Benedict Arnold, John McClane. All Clinton had to do was yell, "Hey, Lieutenant Commander, I'm finally going to Vietnam. Cover me." Of course, the old pinko lady, the New York Times, in a recent editorial, approves as well, stating that the president's decision to establish the new Vietnamese policy, quote, no longer bars the way to a productive relationship with Hanoi. Well, what exactly is a productive relationship with Hanoi? We going to be exporting software disks for America Online, or start importing dog meat? I suppose this means we'll need to appoint a new trade ambassador. Let's see, dog meat, Hanoi. Hey, how about Jane Fonda? She's familiar with the territory. Maybe her hubby Teddy can uplink a new cable channel out of Da Nang. I, for one, would love to watch the Beverly Hillbillies dubbed in Vietnamese. Of course, Gaylord Ravanaugh Turner will have to support the new V-chip technology, now that Bubba wants to put the responsibility for what children watch in the hands of parents using this new digital capability. When there's already an electrical device that does the job just as well, it's called the off button. How do you suppose you'll get folks to program a V-chip when half of them out there can't get their VCR clocks to stop blinking 12 o'clock? Coming up, French-kissing Barbara Boxer, Bob Packwood tells all. More after this. Just kick those left-wingers out the door. We're mad as hell and we won't take it no more. Just look at the opinion polls. We want that old guy, Robert Dole. I've had it up to here with liberals. We need a president with principles. Not a gigolo with no self-control. Give me that old guy, Robert Dole. I like that old guy, Robert Dole. Bubba Clinton about to lose control. So I'm saying on your radio, give me that old guy, Robert Dole. Here's a little dance I call the New Hampshire Shuffle. Mark those ballots now. Senator, may I borrow your pen? Call him a relic, say he's over the hill. But he's still better than that imbecile Phil. No sex and violence at his movie show. Vote for that old guy, Robert Dole. You'll never see him with a bimbo. No knees are knocking with a $5 hole. Ain't got a prostate, but he's sure got a soul. We love that old guy, Robert Dole. Still like that old guy, Robert Dole. Bubba Clinton about to lose control. So I'm saying on your radio, give me that old guy, Robert Dole. Give me that old guy, Robert Dole. Bubba Clinton's about to lose control. So I'm saying on your radio, give me that old guy, Robert Dole. We want that old guy, Robert Dole. Bubba Clinton about to lose control. So I'm here saying on your radio, give me that old guy, Robert Dole.
There he is now. Good morning, Mr. Begala.
Good morning, Mr. Hyman.
Man, how badly do you guys want to run against Newt Gingrich, huh?
Well, you know, Carville offered to pay the filing fee. He's a richer man. He thought it was going to be like Perot and only be about $60 million, so he figured he could swing that with a few more speeches and a couple of books with Mary.
Man, the way you said him,
What did you think of all that yesterday?
Well, you know, when I see our national leaders are discussing these serious issues in a civil tone, as a political consultant, it makes me want to throw up.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Well, of course, you're right. We all wanted a steel cage death match there in front of the old folks, and
Well, the format was flawed.
it was.
Yeah, if you really wanted those guys to go at it, you should put them in a diner with one donut left on the table. They'd go at it.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Morning, McDonald's. Hi, McDonald's hamburgers?
Yes, it is.
This is Sergeant Kirtland of the Air National Guard, and I'd like to get 1,200 hamburgers.
12? Pardon me, sir?
1,200 hamburgers, what we'd like to get.
Just a moment. I'm going to have to ask my... could you hold on for a second?
Yeah,
Sergeant? Just a moment, sir. There's a guy here...
Imus in the morning.
Hey to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Stormtrooper. Jesus freak goof. I'll admit to that. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you, if the question is what is Jeopardy, the answer might be what television game show is being boycotted by Maya Angelou, the poetess. Why is Miss Angelou lobbying against Jeopardy? Because she says it's racist. It doesn't feature enough African-American contestants, man. In a PBS interview with David Frost, which will air tonight, incidentally, she says she has stopped watching Jeopardy because she never sees any black faces on it. What was she doing watching it in the first place? Well, she figured to make that stuff rhyme. Should have watched the show in jail. She'd see a lot of. Well, that will be fine. She went on to explain that she herself is often featured as an answer to questions on Jeopardy, but she says she'll not see any black people on the program giving a response. Jeopardy producer George Bosberg responded to Ms. Angelou's criticism by saying, quote, "We would love to have more members of minority groups on. Unfortunately, we've been disappointed by the numbers of such individuals who have chosen to apply to become contestants."
There's no affirmative action on Jeopardy, you dopey old...
That would be... Now, wait a minute. Bernard, where does this come... Where's all this anger coming from? Yeah, really. Now, just relax out there.
I would like to take the NBA for $200, Alex. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not going to take the NBA for $200.
I would like menthol cigarettes for $300 money. Black sitcoms for $5.
Fred, do not laugh at Bernard. It just encourages him. So, please get I'm this morning here with the once and future heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson. Don't do that.
I'm Mr. Chump.
How are you, champ?
I'm a little depressed.
Why?
I have a problem.
What is it?
I like to dress in a masculine manner, go to bars, act tough. I'm sexually attracted to women. I think I may be a lesbian. I don't want to be a lesbian, Mr. Chump.
Shut up.
I'll have to march in the parade. I don't want to march in the parade. If I can't get my own parade, I don't want to march in one with a bunch of lesbians.
Fine.
Can you believe they didn't want to give me a parade?
No.
Harlem, that is, not the lesbians. Here I am, a local boy who made good, did bad, now trying to do good to make up for being bad. And this lady from African Americans Against Violence saying it's an insult to those struggling to transform their community. Hey, lady, I done my time, okay? I paid my debt to society. You have no idea. I was convicted of rape and spent 3 years hard time in detention with a bunch of criminals who look at every other inmate as a new orifice. So believe me, my punishment more than fit my crime. You against violence? Then don't order my pay-per-view on August 19th because I will get violent with Peter McNeely. After the first round, he gonna wish he could spend 3 years hard time with a bunch of criminals who look at every other inmate as a new orifice, rather than go back out in the ring with me. Yeah. I wanted a parade, Mr. Chump. I wanted marching bands and the Rockettes and the underdog balloon and Santa Claus at the end. I'm the closest thing to a hero these kids in Harlem got, Mr. Chump. Even Rodney King got a parade.
Pardon me?
Okay, it wasn't exactly an organized thing, but there was a whole bunch of people running down the street. But it's not about parades, Mr. Chump. It's about the Mike Tyson charitable program. I'm creating a structure that allows me to give back to my community at a time when it greatly needs support, and also to allow me to somehow get non-profit organization status to filter some of this cash money that's going to start rolling in pretty soon. There will be scholarships awarded to African-American women, which is an attempt on my part to make reparation for my unfortunate transgressions with that portion of the community, and because they're the most discriminated against minority when it comes to standardized tests that tend to have a white bias to them. Therefore, academic achievement will not be a prerequisite. Scholarships will be awarded to young African-American females based upon their community service, and breast size. So if you're a sister who know how to serve her community and you got a nice pair of titties, I'll give you money. Extra stipends for big bunkies.
All right, here now, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson, and the champ is back.
Well, I went away, and nobody really cared how I felt. But while I was in solitary, I couldn't believe who they got to wear the belt. Mike Tyson's back, and there's gonna be trouble. Hey, Mike Tyson. Oh, your heavyweights are gonna start to see double. Hey, Mike Tyson's back. I was forced into a title abdication. Hey, Mike Tyson's back. Due to my unfortunate incarceration. Hey, Mike Tyson's back. I'm ignoring all the critics, and I'm going after Riddick. What made him think that he knew how to fight? When I get done with him, he will wish that he was white. Wait and see. Mike Tyson's back, and he's taking his division. Hey, Mike Tyson. Gonna knock them all out, ain't gonna be no split decision. Hey, Mike Tyson's back. I could push him over using just my little pinky. Hey, Mike Tyson. And if that don't work, I'll punch him in there, Mr. Dinky. Hey, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, I'm back now. Mike Tyson's back.
Is she really going out with him? Oh, there she is. Let's ask her. Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing? Mm-hmm. Gee, it must be great riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today? By the way, where'd you meet him? I met him at the candy store. And found a thing you get the picture? Yes, we see. That's when I fell for Imus in the morning.
Every right-wing boy and girl all around the industrialized world gonna do the Limbaugh rock all around the Limbaugh clock. Mama be nimble, Willie be slick. First husband Clinton makes me sick. Be the first one on your block. Try and do the Limbaugh rock. Limbaugh's to the right now. A little further to the right now. A little further to the right. How conservative can you go? Clinton's main artillery is that shrew Miss Hillary. We here at the EIB fear her feminazi tyranny. Though she loves to politic, she be better at turning tricks. Don't intend to offend or shock. I'm just doing the Limbaugh rock. And now, time for another homosexual update. According to Outweek, you should excuse the expression homosexual rag. Gay weddings are on the rise. My question is, at a homosexual wedding, where do they stick the bouquet? White's my face and red's my neck. Quite far from politically correct. Lifetime member of the NRA. Same goes for the KKK. All the homeboys in my hood all wear hoods like homies should. Put a Negro in a hammerlock. Come on, do the Limbaugh rock. Come on over to the right now. You don't have to be that bright now. How conservative can you go? Rush Limbaugh saying Sieg Heil. And remember, folks, if an Afro-American, liberal, lesbian, feminazi Jew should move into your neighborhood, do the right thing. Kill her. More after this.
Imus in the morning.
It's college.
What? Sex, money, and murder. From your bitch. Run up, from the crack. Death is a fact. Murder is a hot. Murder is a hot. Murder is a hobby that I have since wait. I live. This is the way I live. Pain and torture. Believe in life. Sex, money, and murder. Imus in the morning.
19 discreet. Winking at each woman he meets. How he holds his head up high when he's got such a roving eye.
he's not shy. You'd consider adultery if you'd married Miss Hillary. Cheating's not his only flaw. There are about a million more, but the worst by far, I'd say. He's a liberal and he'll never ever be any good. He's a liberal who just can't control his throbbing wood, and just because he doesn't do what right-thinking men do, that's the reason why our country's going down the drain. He's got no integrity. White House a catastrophe, cause Bubba's a liberal do-do-do. Bubba's a liberal do-do-do, don't you see? That Arkansas poultry king Tyson has just introduced a new line of Hillary Clinton chickens. No breasts, larger thighs, and it's packaged with a turkey. Liberals want to make us pay while they all give the world away, and Bubba's got his pants round his knees. They're knocking. He's a liberal and he's never ever been any good. He's a liberal and he claims that he's misunderstood, and just because he doesn't do what right-thinking men do, that's the reason why I'll suck it in on Robert Dole. Impeach Bill and Hillary. This time vote the GOP, cause Bubba's a liberal do-do-do. Bubba's a liberal do-do-do, don't you see? Yes, my friends, this is Rush Limbaugh reminding you that Bubba is nothing but a dirty, no-good, low-down, rotten, stinking liberal. Bubba's a liberal, not for me. Imus! Quinn the Eskimo.
Radio station to say it's true integrity. Heard about the I-Man and they gave the schmuck a call. Found his name and number written on the men's room stall. Hey, you like that one, son? King of rock and roll here, Hoss. So you're in Memphis now, huh? Ruining another radio station? They know what they're getting into? 4 hours every day of actionable program content that even Bernie Nussbaum couldn't cover. The only one thing WREC's got going for it, as far as I can see, the fact that they're in Memphis and hate Graceland and hate me and hate Elvis Week. Because so do I. Damn. 25,000 losers who must have got shut out of Branson, hanging off the fence at Graceland like some militia guy had been there and blown up a tanker truck full of yellow fat. I mean, the king himself is sick of it, Imus. I've been nothing but toadstool food for 18 years, so why don't they just leave me the hell alone? I wrote a little song about it. Y'all gotta help me, okay? Just repeat after me. Here we go. Dead, dead, dead. That's what I am. I ain't working at Walmart. I'm dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's as far as I got. As far as I need to get, for Christ's sakes. Attention, fan club. Bob Dole is going to write back to you faster with his pen than I am with mine. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all just go on back to the double wide, fight your way through all them Hummel figurines and QVC zirconia crap, and suck your refrigerators. Jesus. Hey, Hoss, got a new hero, don't we? Well, this here Congressman Mel Reynolds doing the tangerine nasty with Beverly Hurd, young lady half his age. Now, did I hear you say that on their first date, he was driving his caddy with one hand and shining his weasel with the other? Shut up. Boy's a charmer, ain't he? Brought a tear to the eye of the king of rock and roll, son. Reminded me of old Priscilla, God bless her. I met her when she was like 9 or something. Yeah. Anyway, we used to play veterinarian, you know. Yeah, I'd lay back on the bed, and she'd come in wearing a stethoscope, and I'd go, look, Doc, my bird's dead. And she'd come over and start giving it the Heimlich maneuver. And I'd say, no, it needs a mouth to beak. And we'd have what I like to call a real Mel Reynolds minute, Imus. I wrote a little tune about it to get out of here on. Help me out again, same way.
Baby, won't you be my prostitute? Put your lips down around my hips and play my old skin flute. Oh, won't you be my prostitute? I want you to be my prostitute. That's what you say. Each time that I hold you this way.
Imus in the morning.
But liberals stink, and Democrats almost as lame. All those Negroes and Jews, they give me the blues. Our country's dying and Clinton's to blame. The Nazis are wrong, and they don't belong in my conservative-minded domain. But let's call a truce, stick your head in this noose, and don't let me hear you complain. 'Cause I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. Well, I and my peers, we don't tolerate queers. Show them what an axe handle's for. You wouldn't believe what we did to this painted swastikas on his front door. I'm proud as can be, 'cause the whole EIB think I could be president someday. But I'm just a man of letters, you see, and they all spell KKK. 'Cause I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know.
And as we approach 9:19 on the Fan New Year's Day, we'll check.
Patricia Donzi, man, we'll have him on. What a unique idea this is. Original. Good morning, Howard.
How you doing, it's Howard?
I know that.
Penis.
I'm fine. Oh, brother.
Hey, if Jimmy Buffett's fans are called parent heads, Rush Limbaugh fans called ditto heads?
Yeah.
What do you call your fans, shrunken heads?
I don't know.
Well, if it isn't Adobe Gillis. Leave it to you to spend a week's vacation looking at a rocky hole.
Well,
I guess now you know how Deirdre feels.
shut up.
She wakes up and looks at a rocky hole every day.
That will be fine.
Tell me something. Tough on a reservation, find a phone booth to pee in?
I peed in a teepee.
Couldn't be any tougher than trying to keep the Navajos from trying to say your neck is a brown canvas blanket. Must have been nice, you back among your people, huh?
Well.
Homosexual Indians?
Yeah.
You're right at home there with Skipping Bear and Sits on Fist. What a shock. A tribe with the totem poles disappear every 20 minutes.
They must have a Native American name for you by now, huh?
Well?
Stampeding Ego? Whistling Lung?
Whistling Lung?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Hate to break it to you, but isn't what they mutter under their breath when you walk away?
How come you're funnier on this program than you are on your own?
Just break up the flow. That'll really make the big bang out at the end work.
Howard Stern here on the I Miss It in the Morning program. Are you finished?
What? Do you want to try and set this one up again?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So they must have a Native American name for you by now, huh?
What would that be?
Stampeding Ego?
Oh, Stampeding Ego, yeah.
Whistling Lung?
Right.
I hate to break it to you, but it isn't what they mutter under their breath after you walk away.
Oh, yeah, okay, what is that?
When was the last time you heard an Indian named Stupid Bastard?